The following data was retrieved from a corrupted hard drive found in the ruins of the Aethelgard Corporate Complex, located 30 miles outside of Reno, Nevada. For 3 decades, the events of October 14th were buried under layers of federal non-disclosure agreements. What you are about to see is not a recreation. This is the raw, unedited feed from Security Cam 09. Before we begin, we must issue a mandatory psychological warning. The frequencies recorded in this audio log have been known to cause nausea, temporal displacement, and acute paranoia in approximately 14% of listeners. If you begin to feel a sudden drop in room temperature while watching this file, disconnect immediately. The Foundation is not responsible for what follows. Look at the screen. This is a standard Type 4 office corridor. It is 2:48 a.m. The silence here isn't just a lack of sound. It's a physical weight. Marcus Thorne, a 42-year-old former Marine with 12 years of private security experience, was the only man on duty in Sector 4 that night. Marcus was a man of logic. He didn't believe in ghosts. He didn't believe in the supernatural. He believed in his flashlight, his radio, and his training. But as the clock hit 2:50 a.m., the logic of the world began to fracture. Look at the shadows on the floor in the center of the hallway. In a normal environment, shadows are cast away from the light source. But in Cam 09, as the minutes pass, you can see the shadows beginning to detach from the walls. They aren't moving with the flickering of the fluorescent bulb above. They are sliding along the floor like ink spilled on glass. Marcus noticed this. He logged it in his digital notepad as a potential optical glitch due to low-light sensor malfunction. He was wrong. It wasn't the camera that was malfunctioning. It was the hallway itself. At 2:54 a.m., the building's automated climate control system recorded a catastrophic failure in Sector 4. The sensors showed that the air temperature was dropping at a rate of 5 degrees per minute. By 2:56 a.m., the air in that hallway was below freezing. On the high-definition feed, you can actually see the microscopic ice crystals beginning to form on the lens of the camera. Marcus reported a smell. He called it wet copper and ancient dust. In the world of paranormal investigation, this is known as a manifestation scent. It occurs when a non-physical entity attempts to exert physical force on our dimension. Marcus decided to investigate. He left the security booth and entered the corridor. The audio from his body camera, which we have sensed to this CCTV feed, records his breathing. It's heavy, it's rhythmic, but if you listen closely to the 3:15 mark, there is a third sound, a metallic scraping, like a blade being pulled across a chalkboard, coming from inside the walls. Marcus stops. He shines his high-intensity strobe light down the hall toward the flickering light. The light doesn't bounce back. It's as if the darkness at the end of the hall is eating the photons. "Dispatch, this is Thorne," he says. No one answers. He tries his cell phone. No signal. He looks up at Cam 09, knowing his partner in the main hub should be seeing him. But his partner, David Miller, later testified that the monitor for Cam 09 showed nothing but a static black screen for the entire hour. Marcus was alone in a pocket of reality that was rapidly closing. He describes a sensation of being watched from the inside, not from around the corner, but from inside his own mind. This is a documented effect of Level 7 breaches. The entity doesn't just appear in the room. It syncs its consciousness with the observer. This is why the shadows are reaching for him. They are his own fears given physical form by the obsidian influence of the site. At exactly 3 a.m., the incident occurred. The primary power grid for the Reno sector was bypassed. Not cut, but bypassed by an external frequency. The emergency lights kicked on. In these classified facilities, emergency lights aren't white. They are deep spectral red, designed to preserve night vision during tactical retreats. This is when the signal error appears on the screen. But look behind the text. Look at the door on the right. That isn't a man, that is the architect. Notice the limb length. According to the recovered autopsy reports of previous victims, this entity doesn't have bones. Its skeletal structure is composed of a dense, semi-liquid carbon. It doesn't walk through doors. It folds the space between the rooms. Marcus's last radio transmission was recorded at 3:01 a.m. He wasn't screaming. He was whispering a series of coordinates. Coordinates that lead to a location in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean where no land exists. The architect reaches out its hand, a limb that measures nearly 7 feet in length. It touches the camera. The glass doesn't break. It melts. When the sun rose over Nevada, the Aethelgard Complex was silent. The morning shift found the security booth empty. Marcus's coffee was still warm. His jacket was draped over the chair. But Sector 4 was different. The hallway of Cam 09 was no longer there. In its place was a solid wall of black stone, the same obsidian-like material mentioned in case file 402. The company spent $3 million trying to drill through that wall. Every drill bit shattered. Every laser reflected back. Marcus Thorne didn't die. He was integrated. To this day, if you stand near that wall at 3 a.m., you can hear the sound of a radio seeking a station. You can hear a man's voice whispering coordinates to a place that doesn't exist. Federal investigators have closed case file 119. The site has been encased in lead and concrete. But Cam 09 feeds have started appearing on private servers across the United States. If you work a night shift, if you sit in a quiet office and you see the shadows moving toward you, do not look at the camera. Do not check the monitors, because the moment you observe the architect, it has permission to observe you. Are you sure you're the only one in the room? Silent evidence. Case closed.